This was all the rage. The Rolex 6236, the one that started it all, the one that showed the world that Rolex can make complex chronographs. Known as the Data Complex, first debuted in 1947 in Rolex's famous waterproof oyster case. It was nicknamed the Gene Kelly because of Gene Kelly's association with Rolex. Oddly enough, he never wore this watch during any one of his Olympic events. This particular one was produced from 1958 to 1962, a very, very short run, which makes the watch very rare. And I talked about this before. The less they produce of something, the less time there is that has taken place of a watch being produced, the more rare it becomes. Of course, with these things, it's all about condition. You can find these anywhere from 100,000 all the way up to 400,000, depending on condition. This is a super nice example, and the money is in the dial. This is one of the cleanest Gene Kelly dials I've ever seen, and this is why this is around that $300,000 price range. Funny how that works with vintage Rolex. It's really all about the dial, because the rest of the watch, it's really hard to beat it up. Rolex really did a good job making these type of watches, making these tool watches. So as I said, the 6236 does predate the Daytona, and then when the Daytona debuted in the 60s, of course, it did overshadow this particular timepiece because Paul Newman wore the Daytona famously, and this one kind of went on the back burner. But till this day, this is still one of the most complicated watches that Rolex has ever made, which makes it that much more important. Aesthetically, the 36mm size, which was actually very large for the time, perfect fit for me. Don't get one of these in very, very often. And when I do, I certainly get excited.